Go.
Ladies and gentlemen, happy Friday. Welcome to Finish the Story. I am your host, Keegan Ray. I'm joined here by my co-host, producer, and best friend, Mr. Trent Ludzak. Welcome to it, man. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing.
Yeah?
Just fucking up the lower thirds consistently. Now that you got the intro down, it's your turn.
Yeah. I do like that, though. When it comes up, it's fine. It's tough, dude. When I was doing it for your show,
Yeah, you did it one time.
Yeah. It's like when you hit the button, though, you can't take it back. So you just like, God
There
damn
it is.
That's, fuck. Man, we were watching, so today, we just got done watching the last episode of Expedition Thru Hell. Wow.
Yeah.
If you have not watched this show, it's
pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. It definitely just reins you in because you have to see what happens. Like,
Yeah.
right from the beginning. So
yeah, you're like, wait, he said he's going to do what?
Yeah, he's going to go from the west coast to the east coast of South America. So he's going to go
Walking.
through the Amazon, through like uncontacted tribes.
Through the Andes Mountains.
I mean, insane. The cloud forest.
Just, and not only is he going to do that, he's going to bring a group of people with him, and those people he's going to choose through video submissions.
Yeah, people he has no idea who they are. Dude, my favorite part about the whole thing is right at the beginning when they're walking and they haven't even gotten to like 10 miles in. And
they haven't gotten through the coastal town where they start. Like, they're still in the town, and they have to take a break.
Because of all the equipment, that's when you know you're
Because, by the way, there's a reason that this is a documentary. Because they brought cameras and equipment and batteries
and, apparently
and everything it takes.
Never heard of a drone.
Why? Well, this was 2012.
Yeah,
Drones were exclusively for bombing at that time.
Oh, okay. That was just... Okay.
Yeah.
That was just us. Which has got to be fucking a blast to fly.
No, and what a wild ride this show is. Like, the last episode really hit you hard and strong up front.
Well, the whole thing is the guy is a fucking dickhead. He's an
real dickhead.
Israeli special forces. And
I don't believe that.
Fucking asshole, dude.
I think he was just in the Israeli military, which is, by the way, I'm pretty sure required if you are a resident.
Special forces. Just because you wrote that on your uniform does not mean that you're special forces.
I mean, because typically militaries, you don't want anybody in your special forces who's not a good leader. Like, there needs to be the leader and the person in charge, but everybody needs to have that skill, I think.
Yeah, and this guy is just a fucking nightmare.
And this guy doesn't have that skill.
He is a fucking nightmare.
Like, nobody can bring up a point. Nobody can be like, hey, so I see that you have us walking around this giant gorge, but I see what looks like a walking path through the gorge, and he'll get in your face and yell at you.
Yeah. I like how the guy like turns to the camera and he's like, there's this raging river, and he's like, I've built plenty of bridges. I am actually a bridge engineer.
Yeah. He's like, I've engineered hundreds of bridges.
Yeah, he's like, this is the worst way to do it.
Yeah. Dude. Bro, and like, if you look at it, it's the worst way. It's a raging river, and they take a rope and two guys. They tie one end of the rope to the shore, and then they send those two guys to try to get across the river to tie it off. Like,
so you're just jumping into a river and getting swept away and then grabbing a rope.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
It's not good.
No, when you're watching them do it, you're like, what the fuck? Yeah. And that's the worst. Because the whole thing is the implication. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's because as soon as you say, like, I don't want to do that, he's like, I'll fucking leave you out here.
Yep.
And then you start looking around, you're like,
if I get left out here, I'm going to die.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Like, Wildcat eats my head first.
I'm
That's best case scenario.
A newborn baby. If you leave me, I will die. Just as soon as you leave. I mean,
and there's one guy who probably did.
Dude, and the guy has, like, no experience in hiking.
No. It's literally, at one point it comes up that it was either the Marine Corps or this hike. And that was his choices.
Yeah, he's like a drug addict. He was trying to sober up.
And he's like, I'm going to go on this hike.
Let me tell you, as somebody who has sobered up, The last place you want to sober up is in the Amazon jungle.
Probably, yeah. I mean, but here's the thing. By the end, he was he would have been sober and everything, but still was not preparing ahead of time for this, was not like a survivalist, and also specifically brought along as the camera guy, so he was specifically carrying more equipment.
Yeah. You're just a mule. You're just literally a fucking donkey at that point.
And the way that they cut him loose is the most like obvious bad way to do it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, we're in a town, it's a small town, and it's only local people here.
Yeah.
We're going to have one of these people, just a guy, just the first guy that'll talk to us, and we're going to give him money and say, get him home. And then we're going to leave.
You might as well just staple a $100 bill to his shirt.
And then nobody heard from that guy again.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, because they just walked him out into the jungle, and the first time he was falling down, the dude was like, fuck this.
Yeah.
And just left him. Like, I'm not dealing with that.
Yeah, because I bet he got a lot of recovery in that village.
Oh, dude. So bad. Just so bad. Yeah, I went one time hiking, and I didn't realize how far of a hike we were doing. Like, I just showed up, was like, cool, we're going to go on a hike. So I didn't realize we're going from the top of a canyon into the canyon, like down all these like steep.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there, I show up, and everybody looks at me, and they're like, is that all you brought? And I just had one water bottle. I was like, oh, no, dude. And as we were hiking, I was like, oh, man, I finished my water. I was like, what? We were only like like now looking back on it, we were like a quarter of the way into the hike.
Oh, no.
I had no idea. Like halfway through it, I was suffering.
Yeah.
I had eaten mushrooms. Somebody was like, hey, didn't you used to play football? It's kind of like football practice. I was like, yeah, except I wasn't severely dehydrated and not on psychedelics.
Oh, man.
I wore the wrong
That's a bad
shoes.
day.
Oh, yeah.
I've definitely been tricked into hikes that were longer. Like, be like, oh, this is a 2-mile one, and it's a 5-mile one.
Yeah.
I did that one day. Bro, the next day, I wanted to die because I was so sore and not ready for a 5-mile hike through the mountains.
The worst is, too, when you're suffering, you're like, oh, dude, this sucks. And you're like, I got to walk back. Like, this is only
By the way,
point.
hiking down a canyon, a lot easier than hiking up a canyon.
Yeah. I'm just always afraid I'm going to slide. I'm going to bust my ass going down. Because that's what you don't want to do is hurt yourself. Because it's like you break your leg. Like, that's what I was thinking about watching that documentary. I'm like, dude, if you break your leg in this jungle, you're fucked.
Well, that's what happened with that Brian Laundrie kid and his girlfriend, I think.
Oh, yeah?
I think she got hurt somewhere that they couldn't get out and begged him to do something.
Hey.
That's my guess.
No.
Well, she was
traveling with a woman is
she was severely
pushed him to the brink.
Maybe that. But she, from what I remember reading, was severely injured to the point that it was either this guy went bananas with a rock.
Oh.
Like total ape shit.
Yeah, total chimpanzee.
Or it was more of a like got hurt.
Yeah, I think more she probably fell down a mountain.
Yeah.
Now, whether or not he gave her the old
that's
only
know.
For him to live with.
It could happen.
It's
I mean, not
people,
anymore. He
people
killed
that fall
himself.
off of cruises. You got your wife out there, give her about 11 Chardonnays. You're like, you know what? I can't fucking stand your mouth. Booyah. Carnival cruise be damned.
Does that happen a lot?
People fall off cruise ships all the time.
And if you do, you're
done.
They can't stop.
There's a video of a kid that jumps off.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
And that kid never got seen again.
No.
How tragic.
What? Just dumb. Just like, oh, this is going to be funny, and they'll throw the ladder down, right?
Yeah, that's just too much booze and bad decision making, bro. That's what my dad used to tell me, and I think about this all the time. The best advice he used to give me, he's like, dude, in high school, he was like, you can make a decision today that will affect your life forever.
Yes.
He's like, so you have to keep that in mind.
And that's like, every day. That's
like,
what's exhausting. That's what's exhausting about life, really, is that you're just always trying to not ruin everything.
I remember watching a kid one time like climb this tree at a camp out that we had, and he was so high up in this tree, and I remember being like, oh, this is a decision that could change this kid's life if he just fucking
forever. For sure.
Plink goes down.
Absolutely.
Yeah, dude.
It definitely could.
Yeah.
You gotta keep an eye on that.
It's crazy. It's because at that age, dude, everybody's making such bad decisions. I remember how bad people drove, like so bad. One of the guys that we went to high school with was a notoriously bad driver and had so many close calls, and then fucking had a fatal wreck. You know what I mean? But you're like, dude, he had 4 or 5. I saw him. He was peeling out and doing donuts in a Publix parking lot, and you know the big light poles that are in the middle of that? Dude, he came like this close to the cement fucking bottom of it. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I'm talking about like everybody was out there and we're all like, oh, look at him showing off. And then when he almost hit it, the entire crowd was just like.
The whole vibe changes. The whole vibe is different now.
You're like, actually, I'm going to go home. My mom's been calling me. I'm good. I just almost watched this guy kill himself.
Did I ever tell you I had a motorcycle in high school?
You had a motorcycle?
Yeah.
What?
It was the first vehicle I bought was a motorcycle.
What grade are we talking?
I had a Suzuki SV 650.
In what grade?
What grade?
Yeah, like a 10th grade or 11th. You got it at 16?
Yeah, like I was like, yeah. I got it. I was like, like 6 months after 16 probably.
Whoa.
Yeah. And
Your parents are crazy for letting that happen, dude.
I used to be reckless.
Yeah. You're 16.
Holy shit. I think it was 18. I think 18.
So you're 18. Your senior year in high school. Your brain's nowhere near developed.
Bro, I remember there was this one time.
Just driving with the heart on. Just, oh, my dude.
Yeah, correct. Bro, there's the closest it ever got was like me and a buddy. We were like somewhere 30 minutes away, and he's like, oh, shit, I have to work in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So we got on our motorcycles, and we got there in 20 minutes.
Oh, no.
But I remember as like we were coming up on the last exit, we're just kind of like riding the left lane, kind of weaving a little bit.
Yeah. Being an asshole.
Just being crazy.
Being a Suzuki.
Just being insane.
Bro,
my buddy was on his dad's Goldwing.
I don't know what that is.
A Goldwing?
Yeah.
It was like a classic bike, actually, because it was like he got it when it came out.
Honda Goldwing. All right. I just want to see it.
I'm gonna type in the decade.
Okay. Yeah, dude. Show this on the screen.
So he's on a Honda.
Okay, that's definitely relevant.
And I'm on here. I'll pull up my bike.
Okay, pull up your bike. This is crazy in high school that somebody gave you a motorcycle or you bought one, but like my parents would have never. That's like if I drove too fast in the neighborhood, my dad was chewing my ass out.
I had this guy.
Oh yeah. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So we're hauling ass down the highway. Fortunately, it was like a midday thing. Traffic wasn't horrible.
That's what I was about to say, day or night.
But as we're coming around to the exit, it's on the right. We're on the left lane, and I had to cut in front of somebody, but it was one of those like speed up hard to get in front of them or miss the exit.
Oh shit.
And it was the first time that I was like, sometimes it's better to just bail on something you were going to do at the last second if like you have better sight of it, because I got up there and I looked over as I was passing in front of this car, and I saw my back wheel go like a foot away from the front of this car, and I went right past.
That's a pucker moment.
Oh man,
like
terrifying.
In your asshole.
Yeah. But like just seeing how close that was, be like I was going 95 miles an hour.
Isn't it crazy how everything slows down
game
for
over.
that moment?
Yeah, game over. If I'm going just barely not fast enough.
Yeah, you're done. That would have been it.
Yeah.
That's fatality.
Not good. If I had a motor, I couldn't.
Wasted.
I couldn't do a motorcycle here.
No. See, my whole thing with motorcycles is people text and drive too much. You could be doing every single thing right and just sitting at a red light and just completely get fucking pulverized.
Well, a lot of times, the way that I thought about riding with a motorcycle, which is maybe not the best way, they can't swerve into you if they're behind you.
Yeah.
So just passing everybody. You're just always passing people.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be next to anybody. You don't want to be behind people for very long. You want to be past everybody.
What if it was like a therapist were just, you go into like your therapy and you're like, listen, I'm having suicidal thoughts. I want to kill myself. They're like, have you thought of getting a motorcycle in the Atlanta area?
Yeah. I mean, that's bad advice because you'll inconvenience a lot of people.
I hate it when people go past me in traffic when they're weaving through the traffic.
Well, there's also a thing with motorcycles. I think it's similar to like, I don't think you've had either of these experiences, but like a bulletproof vest. It's if you put once you have the thing and you're doing like if you put a bulletproof vest on, you feel like you could beat the shit out of anybody. You're probably less capable because you have a bunch of weight, but you feel like a badass.
Yeah.
When you get on a motorcycle and you start going 65 and then you realize just how easy it is to just ease it up a little bit, and then all of a sudden you're doing 85, it's fun because it's also like you got to shift. It's more involved than driving.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very easy to like, I guess, kind of forget the concept of what I am actually doing right now, which is I'm sitting on an engine going 90 miles an hour with nothing around me.
That's crazy even to think about.
And it's hard to and
That's
and
wild.
when you're doing it, you're never really thinking about that.
No. Scooting around.
You're just thinking about like, I am so fast. You're like, I'm ahead of everybody. Yeah. Like driving, nobody's paying attention as much as I am, and I'm ahead of the curve, so I'll be fine.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where you start to get reckless.
That's crazy that you had. I've done dirt bikes. I've never done a motorcycle, but I've driven dirt bikes.
Yeah.
It just feels, it's not, you either lean into that feeling of like faster, or you open it up and you go, that's not for me.
I mean, I did that a couple. Like I topped out I topped out my bike once.
No fucking way.
I got it going as fast as
I don't.
It topped out like around like 330-ish or 130.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
On a fucking motorcycle, that's hauling. And you're 18.
That's pretty scary. I was probably 20 by then. No, I was in the... No, I did... I'm trying to remember. I might have got it when I was 17. I'm trying to remember when I got it. But... Because now that I'm thinking, like, I only had one summer before I went to the Army after high school. And I had the bike for, I think, a year or two.
I can't believe that. My parents would have shut that shit down. Yeah. No way.
Well, I think part of it, let's be real, was that my dad had to sell his bike when I was a baby.
Oh, okay. Now we're getting the other side of it.
I think he wanted another one. And like once I got one, it was kind of like, really? You're not going to let me get one?
Yeah. That's good leverage.
Yeah.
That's playing chess.
Yeah.
You're like, I want a bike. And I've been waiting for this moment. Finally, he's old enough. He's been waiting for like fucking 5 years.
Yeah. It's fun.
Would y'all ride together?
A little bit sometimes.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a good bonding experience, riding with your dad. Dude, that
rules.
Yeah.
I remember the bike he got one of those BMW, like, all-sport ones.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Pretty nice.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I think he's off the bike these days, though.
It's just scary.
Yeah. Well, the scariest thing is how not scary it is once you're like doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you said, you're not thinking about the gravity of what's happening.
Yeah, but you also like that. You do need to get comfortable enough with the controls before you can get to that. Where it's like a downshift is automatic. You know how to. You just can do that.
I went to elementary school with this girl, and she came in literally whole half of her body just fucking eaten up. She was like on crutches. She was riding on the back of her dad's motorcycle, and he laid it down with his daughter that's in 5th grade on the back.
I did drop mine a couple times.
Could you imagine how much hell you're going to get when you get home from your wife?
I remember when I learned never to use your front brake on gravel. That was
it's an important lesson, dude. You hope it's not a big lesson.
It was right at the top of a very big, steep hill.
Isn't that funny?
And I was like, I'm going to slow down right before I coast down this hill. Funny. And I just...
I love that. I damn sure done that on a bike. You know? Yep. I did it one time when I was a kid, and I thought I was hitting the back brake.
Here's the thing. I'm sure I knew that as a kid. I just hadn't applied that knowledge for so long.
I panicked one time because I was going too fast, and instead of doing the back brake, I panicked and just squeezed both.
Gotta be careful.
Shit, dude. When you go over your handlebars, that's a bad feeling.
Yeah.
Because
there's a second where
you're locked in.
Where you're not hurt yet, but
you know it's coming.
You know it's gonna, yeah. Because usually you land on your back, too, so you don't even see it coming. You're just like, between now and whenever this slow motion stops.
Oh. I haven't... Dude, I think about some of the bike wrecks I was in. Like, if that happened to me today, I would be done.
Yeah.
Like, done, dude.
You'd never walk again.
Never. One time I wrecked my bike in Savannah because I was on my phone and I was trying to change the song. And dude, I fucking like wobbled, hit a sign and went down. And I looked up and these people were walking and I was like, that one's on me. Yeah. The guy was laughing. I was like, that one's on me. Yep. Free laugh for the day. God damn it. Because I wasn't going fast. I was just going around this like going around the square trying to change the song. I was like, should have stopped.
You got to be happy with your playlist before you get on.
That's true. Because you cannot change it. That is how you get hit.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm sure I've told you this. I hit a car. That was like, like I got hit one time, but then one time I hit a car. I left fucking the Mellow Mushroom $2 Tuesday, where all the beers were $2 on tap.
Yeah.
And some guy was turning right, but he went to go turn and then just stopped short. And I just slammed the back of his car.
Oh.
He got out. He's like, "Damn, dude, are you okay?" I was like, "Oh, yep, just knocked the wind out of me." I was so embarrassed. I was like, God damn it.
That'll get you.
It did nothing to his car. Just more to my
nothing
ego.
At all?
Nothing, dude. I was like, God damn. Because I kind of fell off my seat and went into my... Yeah.
Well, we used to ride like four-wheelers and shit as kids. I've told you about that.
Yeah, that's the best. Riding four-wheelers young in your life is fucking so rad.
If we ever go up to Cable, there's a big chunk of property we can just rip around on.
Dude, that would be fun. We can shoot content up there. Just go up there and shoot guns and shit.
Shoot guns, yeah. Shoot content. Fuck you. Shoot guns.
That's what I meant. That was what I was saying. Dude, shooting guns is
fun, yeah.
It's so fun. I think it's something that everybody should do.
We could shoot some clay.
Yeah. I was going to say we should do it in schools, but I think there's enough of that going on.
Yeah. That's kind of a crowded market these days. I'm thinking more of like federal buildings. Sorry, you might have to edit that one. It's a joke. It's a joke. Joking. I swear.
Stop. Yeah, man. So... I think that I'm not ready for the election coming up just because it's too much already and it's not even close.
Exactly.
It's like it's revved up to a point of like just I don't want to be a part of it anymore. Oh, so I was going to tell you about this, dude. Earthship Home. Speaking of wanting to get off of the map and fucking away from society. So we watched this documentary on these Earthship homes. And basically what it is this guy takes these buildings and he builds the home from...
Tell me the name again.
Earthship. Like spaceship, but Earthship. Oh. So he builds this home out of tires and glass bottles and aluminum cans and like all natural.
What the fuck?
Yeah, show that. So... the idea is the internal, like the actual inside of the house, the walls and the guts of it is like tires and recycled material. If you go down, they take like the bottles and they use the bottles as like stained glass.
Like that at all.
Well, the whole thing is that it's completely self-efficient. So it runs its own solar and then it does gray water. So gray water, like... it collects rainwater. That's what you shower with. And then the water that you use to shower goes into the back of the toilet to flush the shit. Then that water goes to, like, water the plants. It's crazy, dude. Some of the kitchens have, like, greenhouses in them. So you could just pick a tomato and just cut it right there.
Like this.
Yeah, so that's the stained glass right there with the used bottles. And then they use, like... so in the documentary, they're talking about the concrete. They're just using like sand, hay, and like mud.
Old school concrete.
I was like, that's so crazy. But, of course, I started doing a deep dive on it. You got all these people, the state of California is like, well, that's illegal. You can't just not have a power bill or a water bill. They're like, no.
But we need money.
Yeah.
Guys, we need our money.
But I was just thinking, I was like, dude, if you honestly started doing this and implementing this, it couldn't happen because we would have whole sections of industry would go out. Like you wouldn't have a water company anymore. Like you wouldn't have the electric. Like,
but Keegan, that would be stupid. Why would we do that? We need those people. We need those experts.
We need that
to tell us how much fluoride we need.
Yeah. We need those tires to sit in the Amazon jungle. You know, like that should be the expedition. Take Mickey and say, hey, we're going to build in the Amazon with tires.
They're taking our precious bodily fluids, and we need to stop it by burning tires in the woods to cook our food. That's what we're doing.
It's like the burn pits in Iraq. How fucking grotesque is that?
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
It's like
pretty cool.
Dude, you made us do that. Like we were burning stuff that they're like, is this going to harm us?
Is this going to be bad, burning a laptop, a full laptop? Is that going to be bad? There's nothing in here that's going to like turn into dangerous heavy metal vapor.
Yeah. Oh, my God. I didn't even think about that.
That's what it is. Have you not heard about this?
I didn't know the specifics of it.
This is basically the Iraq War veterans' version of Agent Orange.
Really?
Is that these burn pits, they were having them burn like straight up computer parts, which...
Like, why are we burning all this Hunter dude's laptops?
Why does he have so many laptops?
What is going on?
He needs a new one to do cocaine off of every day.
Why am I burning another laptop and hooker? Like, what is happening?
So they're burning all this shit. And then all of a sudden, in this group of people who were around these burn pits, it has... very rare forms of brain cancer have started showing up. We're like, it's so rare that it would be absurd to think that there could be any coincidence with like this many people getting it from that were involved with this thing. But it's, you know, it's like the Agent Orange. The military is going to wait for most of those people to die of what they've given them before they ever acknowledge it. And then the stragglers get it and the future people.
Once it's low numbers, they're like, we can afford this.
Once it's not everybody they hurt with it. Once it's like only a percentage.
Were they not, is this a dumb question? Were they not wearing masks? Were they not, like, you didn't have breathing apparatuses?
What, you were going to carry that out into the desert?
That's insane. Yeah, I didn't think about that, being in the desert. Yeah. Fuck, dude. That's crazy.
You're out there because there's nowhere, like... Yeah, it was bad.
You're out where you burn laptops. And who God only knows what was on those laptops.
Oh, yeah. There was a lot of war crimes on those laptops.
Yeah.
Imagine getting brain cancer from war crimes. That would be...
Jesus Christ, how dark is that tunnel? You can't go down that tunnel. You can't start researching it or you're activated. Now you're in a fucking tower in Austin, Texas.
I was fortunately never around... Never around the burn piles.
You're in a tower in Austin, Texas, playing Big Buck Hunter, dude. IRL. Writing a manifesto.
Yeah, I was more like experimental vaccination candidate.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And you didn't even get superpowers. That's bullshit.
I know. I got radiated. I didn't get superpowers. I really tried.
Did you think about that though while you were getting it? You're like, dude, I might fucking.
Yeah.
We'll be so jacked.
Yeah, well, because you have to. Because, like, dude, it was, I remember, it was when we got to Korea. They send you to Korea, you're on orders, but you have to in-process first. When you're going through in-processing, they do, it's like full medical. There's a whole day of it. If you need any shots, they'll give you your shots there. But then they bring everybody in this room, and they're like, we have another vaccine. It's an experimental vaccine. We need you to sign a waiver. And somebody was like, well, what if I don't want to get it? Well, they're like, well, then you can't enter the country. We're not going to let you enter the country, and then you're not going to make it for your orders. You'll be AWOL.
Damn. So you really didn't have a choice.
Yeah. So here's the thing. That's probably all bullshit, but they will openly lie to your face about stuff like that to make you do stuff.
The first line is like the Bill Gates, and Melinda Foundation. You're like, oh, God.
So we all So we all just like mindlessly sign the paper. They give us, they give everybody 2 shots, and I've never heard anything about it since. And I know it doesn't show up on my medical record.
What did
it's
they
not on
give
my
you?
shot record. No idea.
Oh my God, dude, for real?
Yeah.
And then they
Now
just
think about it like
microwave
this. Now think about it like this. They're doing this in batches. You think that we were they were probably giving that to everybody for a week.
The only thing you could hope is you were the placebo group.
That's the hope.
Yeah. Because there was a placebo group when the dudes got syphilis.
Here's
in Tuskegee. The one guy was like...
Here's what worries me. And it wouldn't surprise me if the military's doing this kind of shoddy research where they're doing it because it was 2 of them. What if they intentionally, so today we all get experiment A. Day 2, we give everybody experiment B. But they each get 2 shots. They're each the placebo group for the other.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I've thought about that.
Damn, dude, that's crazy. And then what do they do? Why do you get microwaved? What is that part?
Well, that was an accident. That was just a workplace accident that they swept under the rug so that the officer in charge wouldn't get in trouble.
How is that an accident? Like,
well, you're working with a giant. Think of it as a giant microwave. It's huge. When it's on, you're not supposed to stand within 2 meters of it. So about 6 feet. You got it.
Oh my God.
So naturally, before you go start opening doors and reading numbers off of it, you've got to go in the control station and say, "Hey, is that on?" And they'll say no, or they'll say yes. And if it's yes, then you say, "Hey, can you turn it off so I can go do this?" Walked in. I didn't walk in. Another guy did. There was a group of 4 of us had to go out there. One of the guys walks in. He's like, "Hey, is it on?" And they're like, "Nope." So we go out there. We start doing the thing. We're opening doors. We're sticking our heads in it, all over this thing. 5 minutes later, one of those guys comes running out and was like, "Oh, we're so sorry. We totally forgot. It was definitely on when you came out here. Like, we just turned it off." And then for like 6 hours, we were all just like put in a dark room to suffer radiation sickness.
Oh my God.
And then it was
a fucking oopsie. First off, that's crazy.
And then it was never talked about again.
I might have to punch that guy. Just messenger of bad news. Like, what the fuck are you telling me? Like, whoopsies.
No,
we microwaved you. And you would think that there would be a better system, like at least like a studio, like on air.
That's the best system. Is it on? Yes or no? Guy who controls this for the last 8 hours. Is it on? Yes or no?
Yeah. He really fucked that one up, huh? It's like, dude, you had a 50-50 shot at it and you fucking failed. Yep. That's crazy.
I think part of the thing is that you're supposed to have everybody in the box for the whole shift. And they might have not had the officer in there, which is like another thing you got to dig into. No, I'm sure there was a lot of shady stuff going on, and it would have been a big problem if anything that happened to expose.
Yeah. It probably goes a lot deeper.
Yeah.
It's like when that lady fell at my work, and they're like, "We're going to have to review the tapes." You're like, dude, we're all going down.
It's also like that's something you don't even really hear about in the Patriot world. You don't even really hear about, like, 5 people got radiated over here last month or whatever. You know, it probably would have been big news.
Yeah, I feel it. But, you know, you want to be a whistleblower? Look how that's working out for Boeing.
Yeah. No, I'm good.
Yeah, dude.
I'm good.
No fucking way. If they wanted to make a message, they did, loud and clear.
Well, Boeing's a different company. This is Raytheon.
This is when.
Well, no, this is it's not even Raytheon. It's not on the equipment. It's on the U.S. government.
And they have a fantastic track record.
They make you sign something when you enlist. You're not allowed to sue them. You sign away your right to sue the U.S. government when you enlist.
The U.S. government has the same NDA as Puff Daddy. They're like...
Where do you think Puff Daddy got it?
Yeah. Dude, a lot of people don't remember he was big on the rock the vote. He was like, vote or die. Like,
was he?
Like, yes, he was with all the politicians. That's why I'm like, where did all those videos go because he was hanging out with all the politicians.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they don't let you just have blackmail shit, and they probably went in there and were like, we got to get the good ones.
Yeah.
We got to get all the good ones.
Got to get the good ones.
Where are all those tapes at though? You know, like
they're in a FBI storage room.
Dude. The shit that could you imagine being somebody that was at a party and you're just with your family and you turn on the TV and it's like, Dad, look, Puff Daddy's getting in trouble, and you just suddenly like thinking back to like 1996, like you at some house party just getting a train ran on you, Carl Winslow's face fucking you. You're like, oh no.
Yeah.
Just in the bathroom, making a call. All the favors now.
Now, right now.
Disappears now. I mean, he was just.
You owe me for the last coup that I funded for you.
Yeah. Dude, do you not remember Nicaragua? Yeah, dude. You'd have to just that feeling of just having that blackmail hanging over your head at any time. Mm-hmm. Like, because there are people that whatever they did on video is wrong. I understand that, but I'm saying that feeling of knowing somebody has that power of you would feel terrible.
Yeah.
It would just be miserable.
But how else are you going to have $1 billion, Keegan?
I mean, just every time that you're voting on this floor, somebody's just airdropping you a picture of you with like 4 dicks in your mouth. Like, hey, don't forget. It's like every time I see somebody vote for something just egregious that you're like, how could you vote like this? It's just like, what do they have on you?
Well, it's
They're like, I am in favor of killing the children.
Yeah. More children killing. That's the goal.
Put them in the burn pits. I don't care. Just do not atomic bomb my family.
Just as long as I get this Pfizer check.
Dude, that is an atomic bomb. If you find out not only is your husband cheated on you, but it was horrific and possibly with Carl Winslow.
And possibly, Carl Winslow's really the end all be all of that.
In his cop outfit, obviously.
Yeah.
He
what else
definitely was in that cop hat. And there was handcuffs involved and a nightstick. These are all things I know for sure.
Of course.
With the certainty. I don't need the court documents.
Call them tools of the trade, if you will.
They're like playing the Family Matters theme song while they're fucking him. Days go.
He still cries whenever the theme song comes on.
He's with his family
just weeping.
You know, there's some dads out there when their kids like, hey, let's put on Puff Daddy. Turn this fucking shit off.
Never.
Not in my fucking house. Why do you hate Puff Daddy so much?
A music video comes on at a bar and he just...
It's Puff Daddy and Mace dancing in the fucking...
I'm going to need shots right now.
You're just on a date. It's just fucking Puff Daddy. Yeah, dude. Some people have that. I mean, he was a monster. He was a monster. You got to look at the video, though, when he dressed up as the Joker. Did you ever see that? So Puff Daddy was the Joker for Halloween one year. And this is when I didn't really know about anything that was going on.
Oh, Jesus.
Watch the video. Play the video, because the video is terrifying, dude. Like, you have to believe what people are telling you. You know what I'm saying? Like, he showed us, he was...
Oh, you dumb bitch talking.
So...
Sorry, that was uncalled for.
So he dresses up as the Joker.
What did he do?
He's just sat like outside this party, just like laughing and just being fucking so creepy. And I was just like, dude, he was really living that Joker life. The guy was a menace.
Well, he's an actor.
Huh?
He's an actor, so.
Well, it makes you really think. You're like, yeah, he probably did kill Tupac. You know?
Yeah.
Like you were like that before that was like, that's just a conspiracy. You're like, no. I think maybe this dude was the worst guy on the planet.
Up there. I mean, I feel like he was probably just like the it sounds like he was like the music wing of Epstein.
Exactly. Yep. That's a good way to put it. He was like the music wing. Because I think they have tentacles in everything. I think there's like, I'm sure in the art world, there's some horrific, you know.
I'm sure there's somebody in the comedy world.
Yeah, I never even thought about that. I'm sure. I mean, there definitely has to be. There's some real fucking. When you really start traveling for comedy, you meet
everywhere.
some
The
goddamn
insurance
characters.
world. It's every industry.
It is. It's rotted from the inside out.
The housing. Housing. Yeah, housing for
How
sure.
can housing? This is what blows my mind. And I know, whatever, not to get on a rant, but it's like, how does anybody see what BlackRock and all these people are doing, like buying up the residential housing, and not see that that's a fucking problem?
No, it is, but the government doesn't care.
It's crazy. Yeah, because they're getting paid.
What are we gonna do?
I don't know. I saw that the average house in America, including everywhere, it was like $400,000 or something. I'm like, that's insane, dude. Because that's including like California and New York and places like that. That's insane.
I'm going to buy a piece of property somewhere in town, and I'm going to put one of those little Connex houses on it probably. And that's all I need.
I'm going to get some property. I'm going to get a little home, and then I'm going to steal the Earthship idea.
Well, because at this point, it's like houses are also so fucking, like, I don't need all that shit.
I don't. That was a boomer daydream.
Yeah.
Of like having this giant house with a big stupid fucking yard that you have to water.
You think I need crown molding?
You think I want stucco, Susan? Stucco was the ugliest shit ever.
I'm going to pay a guy to get up there with a sponge and texture this whole ceiling.
Yeah. You're like, I'm going to put
What are we doing?
Have you seen the container homes?
Yeah.
Shipping container homes?
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. You have to get those reinforced, though.
Yeah.
You don't want that shit caving in on you. What a horrific way to die.
No, but that would be easy because you can basically build in reinforcement and then, what's it called? Like spray foam insulation, the whole thing.
Yep. I've seen them where they did two of them, and then they did one like a H, so it connects, and it's like, I would love to do like a tiny home, like just like one tiny home that's like where I live and everything, and then have like a little A-frame that's nothing but just a big conversation pit, a fireplace, and then like a giant TV, and that would be like the entertainment, and have like a little kitchen in there, but just like a little thing from the house.
I mean, I don't want to go like tiny house. I'm not trying to go that crazy.
Yeah.
But like,
well, I don't mean like tiny home. Like I don't want to smell my own farts. Like, you know,
2 Connexes is bigger than this apartment.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
If I put those together, I can build out whatever floor plan. You just need to link them and add structure in the middle.
Yeah, I just think that idea that the boomers had of these big fucking houses in the suburbs with an HOA to tell you what, that's fucking stupid. That makes no sense.
For when you don't have enough government in your life and you need more.
Yeah, you need your fucking old neighbor that's a cunt and has nothing to do, that's out with a ruler on your property.
Measuring your grass.
Yeah, dude, fuck that. I can't stand that.
Yeah. I don't like fighting. I would fight a guy over that.
I'd be petty as shit. I'm with you on that. I'd be like, you know what? I'm taking off a month of work. Let's do this.
Well, and you know me. I'm a very spiteful person.
Not only are you spiteful, but you're very detail orientated.
Well, I'm a rule follower. Which means that I'm going to take your book and I'm going to make you wish that you didn't have a book, because books have words and words have definite meanings.
Yeah.
And you're always going to get some meanings out of some of those that you didn't intend.
It was written by a person who is fallible.
I'm going to get in that rule book and I'm going to start doing real weird stuff to my house.
Yeah.
You're going to have to change that rule book until either I move or you move.
Yeah.
You're just going to keep plugging holes, and I'm going to keep finding them.
Yeah, I will live in infamy in this HOA's history.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I just couldn't do it.
I would make it into a hit YouTube series, honestly.
Yeah. But I understand the argument for it, too, because we lived in a neighborhood that didn't have an HOA when I was growing up, and we definitely had the houses where you're like, this guy.
It's like no HOA, you need a gun. Right? That's the trade-off.
Yeah, for sure. I'm too old to be arguing with neighbors. It's like, just pull a gun. Hey, pick up the branches.
Please.
If you park here again, I'm going to shoot you. Somebody gets out of their car. I'm standing my ground. I love the thought that
I'm in my yard.
Yeah, you have to say it or it doesn't count.
Wait, do you?
No.
That would be funny, though.
That's so funny.
They check the tape.
Yeah. We checked the ring footage, and you did not tell them that you were standing your ground, sir. That is the most incriminating thing is a ring camera.
Yeah, everybody puts them on their doors.
For what? Everybody's like, for security. The first thing somebody does that's going to break in your house is just take that right off the thing. It's put on with like fucking sticky pad.
Yeah.
Just, nope.
Or, I mean, just put a sticker on it.
It's like that guy that was
the
ex-director in Arkansas with the Clintons that came to his house and they were like, oh, he's doing guns. You know what the first thing they did? Put tape over the ring camera. You're like, well, that fucking... If a piece of duct tape can completely null and void your entire security system, it's not a good system.
I feel like the main thing that Ring cameras are used for now is funny videos of people falling coming out of the front door.
Absolutely.
It's the main thing.
Yeah. Which is worth it. I told you mine, right? My buddy, I was watching his dog, and I let the dog out, and as we're going out the front door, I started getting stung by bees because there was bees on the front porch. So you just see me, I walk outside, and I go, oh, and Gaia's in front of me. I go, run, Gaia, run. And it's this husky, and she's like, oh. And you just see me in the video running back and forth across the yard with the dog chasing me. Dude.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like my girl. Like I was going to fucking go down.
Bro, getting stung by a bunch of bees is the worst.
I was Macaulay Culkin out there. I was about to die.
Because we can all, like, I think, at least this is for me, and I assume other people, so it's probably not true. I think most people have heard that you can die from bee stings.
Yeah.
If you get enough of them.
Yeah. Everybody saw my girl. Like it
Nobody
terrified me as a child.
Knows how many bee stings that is.
Yeah.
So if you get stung by like a few bees and they're like coming after you, you're like, oh fuck, how many bee stings is it? How many before I die? How fast do I have to get out of here?
Mental math. Dude, and the adrenaline starts going, and then they start fucking you up more because your pheromones start going. And once they sting you, they've left a scent on you, so now you're marked.
I hate bees so
Dude,
much.
I do too. One time when I was a kid, one of my core memories, like one of the first memories I have, is a bee flying into my ear and stinging me and just freaking out.
Oh,
and my dad being like, what is happening? You know, like, why are you freaking?
Because you can't see it.
Mm-mm.
You're just pointing at your ear.
And then I had a bee fly up my shorts one time. It was a yellow jacket.
Oh,
I was doing yard work with my dad, and it flew up my shorts and just got me on my inner thigh, like 3 or 4 of them. And that's crazy because those are kamikaze animals.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's that serious? You're going to fucking kill yourself?
You're going to kill yourself for this?
You fucking
for this
suck.
cause? Just to be a dick?
Yeah. I hate bees. I like honeybees, though.
When I was a kid, one of my early memories, my first, I'd say, memorable time with bees was, dude, we went camping. We just got out there and just got, like, the tent set up and everything.
Of course.
And I have a hatchet, and I start hacking at this dead log right next to the campsite. There sure was a nest in there.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
How many times did you get stung?
I think 5.
God damn it.
Yeah.
That's
Little
so
kid.
scary. How old were you?
I don't know. I was pretty young. Though.
Yeah.
Probably under 10.
That's so scary as a kid. Yeah.
I
Because
think
you don't know what to do.
No.
There's just, you just are just in a swarm of them.
Like, and honestly, bee stings, they never hurt as bad as I remember whenever I have one. It's probably because the first most memorable time, it was a lot of them.
Yeah, you're traumatized. I remember my dad one time, and I was a kid, and this terrified me. He was like, we had a hornet's nest on the porch, and he's like, all right, I'm going to go out there, and I'm going to spray this hornet's nest, and I'm going to run back inside. So he goes out there, and he sprays it, and then he comes running back inside, and we had a glass door that shut, and he slammed that door, and you could hear him like hitting the glass. And I remember being a kid like, I don't fuck with hornets. Like, not at all. Holy shit, dude.
Because hornets are dicks, too.
Oh, it flipped me out. I remember being like, and seeing my dad
Well,
like,
hornets
scared.
are the ones that don't die when they sting. They can just keep going.
Oh, they'll just get on you and fuck
So
you
they
up.
and I don't know. I feel like hornets will just sting you because they can.
Mm-hmm. My dad said one time somebody hit a wasp nest when he was a kid, and the dude hit it with a rock, and he said they got fucking lit up.
Yup.
And he was like, bad. Like the kid, I think the kid had to go to the hospital. The kid that threw the rock, he got the worst of it.
I had an uncle who was trying to get rid of a hornet's nest, so he's like, all right, well, the redneck way to do this, which is weird, because I would argue this might be my classiest uncle.
Okay.
But he's got this,
Which is
nice cabin.
The bar's low.
Uncle Mike.
Nice, dude.
So Uncle Mike and I think Uncle Larry and my dad get out there with a gas can. Dump it on this hornet's nest. Because, I guess the fumes does it makes them sleepy or something, so they don't, swarm. Dumps it. And by the time they get back far enough and they're ready to light it and they figure out a good way to light it, you know what happens with gas if you just leave it for a few minutes, right? It starts to vaporize and dissipate around. So one of my uncles grabs, a piece of paper he's going to toss on it, and as soon as he gets within 10 feet of this thing, it just goes woof, this big, huge area around the house. Everybody's screaming.
Oh, dude. Just flaming hornets.
Yeah. I mean, they got them all, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
That's
they fucking
seems like a
Vietnam'd
good way
them.
to do it.
Dude, they napalmed the fucking hornet's nest. Way overkill.
Pretty cool, though.
Pretty fun. That'd be
yeah.
awesome to watch. Anytime your uncles are doing something together, it's like, this rules. Like
Yeah.
adult uncles. That shit is so fun.
But when you're a kid, you're like, these are responsible adults who are getting rid of a hornet's nest.
How funny is that?
That's so cool. But then you think back and you're like, fucking brothers, dude, just doing crazy shit.
When you have the realization that the adults in your family have no fucking idea what's going on, and you're like, wait a minute.
I have a memory of that,
I'm going to grab a water. Hold on.
It changed how I think or how I thought about my dad. In one sentence, I heard him yell through an open door. Because it's like a lot of the families together. We're in small town Wisconsin where, they all grew up. And all the adults are going to go get dinner at this restaurant. It's cold. All the beers are out on the porch. That's where you leave them when it's cold
dude.
out. So
that's a good time.
We're going out, I'm 21. I'm back from the army or something like that, taking a break or
a lot
something.
of spotted cows going around.
Oh yeah. That's what I was drinking.
A lot of cows.
So we're drinking some cows. Mm-hmm. All the kids are going to stay, some of us are adults at this point. We're just kind of hanging out at these condos.
Mm-hmm. That's a good time.
I remember everybody's on their way out the door. My dad goes out, opens the patio door, and he yells, "Anybody want a roadie?" And then a couple people were like, "Yeah." And then he grabbed a bunch of beers and brought them all. Yeah.
Yes.
That small town shit. But my dad being suggesting it to the group and being like, "Oh, okay."
Mm-hmm. I got a couple of friends that are roadie people, and they know who they are, and they listen to this podcast. Shout out for a cold beer in the back seat. You
got to do it small town. You got to do it on even if you got private roads. I will do it up there in northern Wisconsin. There, I
will say we have a friend that if he's driving, it is definitely okay to crack a beer in the back.
Oh. I guess Tennessee's nice because if you're a passenger, you're allowed to have a beer.
I mean, you could crush it. Before you get pulled over.
No, I know.
Then it's just a chug-a-thon.
I'm aware.
And that's just hilarious to walk up to the car as a police officer and you're just like,
you're
hey,
burping.
You boys, God damn, dude.
You're burping.
You're putting down a beer bong. You're like, sir, do you know why I pulled you over? No idea, officer. Your passenger was bonging a beer.
Why are your keys wet, sir? You stab a beer with those keys?
Sir, did you just do a shotgun? Sir, we actually have you on traffic camera footage of you doing a shotgun and driving with your knees. Sir, that was a monster water. Thank you. I was shotgunning a liquid death, dude.
Yeah.
I'm hung over.
Man, I mean...
Shotgun to liquid IV.
There's something about a road beer. It's
It's fantastic.
It's like smoking while you shit. It's just the right combination of things that feels primal.
Feels good. You know what? And I'll say this, and I won't say driving a car because that's irresponsible, but nothing feels better than drinking a beer and driving like a golf cart.
Oh, yeah.
Down in Florida, down in Peachtree City or something.
Well, that's what those are made for at this
So my
point.
cousin had a wedding in Peachtree City, and when you get to the hotel, they had golf carts for all the guests and all the golf cart paths. And everybody was like, you can get a DUI. And I was like, what?
Oh, no.
I was on those paths chugging beer. I was like, I thought it was like golf course rules.
This is my kryptonite.
Drunk driving a golf cart is... Dude, when we would go to
But also, I feel like if your boss found out, because like if you're a delivery driver and you get a DUI on a golf cart, you just are like, it was a golf cart.
Yeah,
they would be like, all right, fine.
Yeah.
You're okay.
They're like, better don't do it again.
Yeah, don't do it in a car.
Yeah.
But a golf cart? That's upsetting. That can happen.
Golf carts are the best. I love it. When we went to Defusky Island, that's how everybody gets around. There's no cars. Everybody's just taking golf carts. When we would go do those races with Lil Jon's family.
That's like the Village. You know about that? The Villages or whatever? It's the biggest retirement community. It's in Florida, north of Orlando.
Oh, so people just rolling around.
Well, my parents went last year because they have a deal. Here's the thing. You buy a house to get into it, but they have... once you turn, I think, like 55 or something, you can get like a dirt cheap, basically vacation, where they're like, come check it out, see if you like it. So they basically just took that as a cheap vacation.
So funny.
My dad said that it was one of the worst parts was it's no cars once you're in there. So no cars. It's all golf carts. But it's still like a huge area. So he'll be like, if you want to go to a different kind of area, see some different shops or restaurants, you got to get in a golf cart and ride for like 45 minutes.
What? Dude, no, I can't be doing a road trip on a golf cart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you have to pack a lunch. You have to fucking pack a suitcase.
It's crazy. Well, because I guess... apparently, the way it's been described to me is there's a bunch of like town squares, and the town square is where all the shops for that little area are. So like you've got yours that's pretty close to you because it's set up that way. But if you want to check out one of the other ones, you got to haul a little ways.
You're just like on a little electric golf cart going 10 miles an hour, just
cruising.
You know those battery powered ones, not even the gas one.
Nah, they probably got the nice ones around there.
Little John's family used to have it was either a Cadillac or a Hummer, but it was a golf cart that was like on the really nice wheels and it had a radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It ruled. We would just basically, when you would get to the drag race, you would get there on like a Thursday, and they would do, Thursday was like family night, and then they would have like time trials where
I will say drag racing in golf carts does seem irresponsible.
No, but it's just because it's, the race parking lot is giant. Yeah. So, but the first night, it's literally just a party of people driving around on golf carts, getting wild.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's showing off their golf carts.
That's the best.
I was like, I didn't even know there was like nice golf carts.
It's pretty fun. I've seen some of them recently.
Yeah, you just have to drive by jamming some 90s country song. That's like...
and you're the man.
Yeah.
That's the pinnacle of American existence. That is what the American dream has boiled down to.
That is the American dream, is being drunk on a golf cart, listening to music.
Showing off your Van Halen to your neighbors.
Yeah. They gotta hear this Led Zeppelin. They're about to ramble on, baby. That's like one step away from being that dickhead in the fucking motorcycle with the loud music. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's always like...
headphones, man.
It's always something crazy like Tony Braxton or something where you're just like, nobody wants to fucking hear that.
Who the fuck is Tony Braxton?
I don't know why I just thought of that. That was weird. That was a muffin dive into my mind.
Who is Tony Braxton? Is that your like...
I don't know. That's like a very...
is it like your imaginary friend?
No, Tony Braxton is an R&B singer.
Is this going to be like the fucking Gordon Lightfoot thing where people are going to be upset that I didn't know about a musician?
I think people are going to be like, that was a weird pull.
Yeah.
Like, Out of all of the female singers that come, no, I literally did hear a guy doing Whitney Houston one time.
Yeah,
And it
actually,
was just
come to
like,
think of it, I'm pretty sure I've heard the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald on a motorcycle.
that's amazing. I've seen so many TikToks of people in a bar, and they're like 7 straight hours.
By the way, the Venn diagram of people who go to motorcycle festivals and the people who blast the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, it's a pretty round Venn diagram.
I think that's just a circle.
Yeah. I'm not going to say it's 100% overlap, but those are real small slivers, you know?
Yeah.
Like, we don't even have, like, a word for the moon when it's at that phase.
Yeah.
It's so little.
Yeah, it's a sliver. It's a toenail.
Yeah.
It's a toenail sliver of people that don't.
It's a toenail sliver from somebody who neurotically clips their toenails all the time.
Do you clip or do you chew?
Nah, I clip.
You clip?
Oh,
Fingernails?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The whole thing.
Really?
No, I chew my toenails. I clip my fingernails.
You're like a toddler. You just sit there. Just, dude.
It's relaxing.
Where do you put the clippings? How do you do it? You clipping your nails?
I put them in a little pile next to wherever I am, and then I bring them to the trash.
I've been doing my toes outside. I like that.
That works.
Yeah, just letting the wind take it.
Let Banjo eat them later.
Oh. Dude. They're disgusting. When Fiona throws up, he'll jump in there, dude.
I bet he will.
He likes it.
I bet he will.
He's been really into going to the garage because he wakes up every morning and he cries. And I'm pretty sure now I figured out he has trained us that when he wakes up and he's like, I'm bored, he wakes us up to be like, take me to the garage.
That's his playroom?
Well, you got to think about it. The garage is just like, right now it's full of boxes. So it's a cat heaven.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it till the other day. I was smoking in there and I was looking around. I was like,
it's cat heaven, as I like to call it, Kevin.
This is like the ridiculousness garage for him. You know, like Rob Dyrdek's fantasy factory for banjo. It's just giant boxes and just like a complete playroom of just.
Yeah, he's having a grand time.
I went out there to get him the other morning and he was on top of the grill, just having a Lion King moment, just looking over, surveying his land. I was like, bro, no wonder he loves it. It's just boxes out there. Cats are cool that you don't have to spend money on shit because you can buy them expensive toys.
Or a box.
Or you just give him a box. You really want to spruce it up? Cut a hole in the box so he can stick his head out. Kills him every time, dude.
Big fan.
Yeah, my family didn't love the right wing Robert bit.
You can just take your box that you used for your dick in a box joke, give that to the cat.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
Right wing Robert.
Yeah, they didn't love that.
Oh, that's too
The
bad.
Nazi nephew. I was like, Nazi nephew is funny. They're like, dude, stop. They're like, quit saying right wing Robert and Nazi nephew. I was like, just him unboxing Trump shoes would be hilarious. I was like, let me buy some Trump shoes and we'll get him to unbox them and then look at the camera and say, I believe in one China.
Well, now.
I don't believe in a two-state solution in Israel. Robert, you're going off script.
We need to prepare the Holy Land for the second coming of Jesus.
Wow. This is my 2-year-old niece. She's a Zionist. This is my nephew, Robert, and he's going to tell you about Rafah and why it was just an explosion of Hamas weapons. Take it away, Robert. He's like unboxing Trump shoes, and he's like, you see, Hamas has embedded themselves into the...
Robert's here to tell us about how marijuana degrades traditional American values.
Little Ben Shapiro, baby. It's out there. When you see those dudes...
Bro, you see Robert in a golf cart. That's a happy kid, though.
Yeah. Bro, when you see those young kids for Biden... It's like, what mental illness is this? They're that fired up. You're
they don't
You're
know.
A loser.
They don't know.
On either side.
They're kids and they've been convinced of that something's cool.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah,
it's gonna.
But kids are super easy to trick. As far as I understand, that's like the main attribute of kids, other than loud, is that they're easy to trick.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're an adult. It's not. It's not a fair fight. You know.
Oh, I know.
It's like it's not. I mean, dude. I mean, Santa, fucking stupid.
No, I know. I have jokes about this, Keegan.
I like to tell the one trick I'll do with my nephew is I'll tell him that something is spicy. I'll be eating like ice cream and he's like, I want to bite. And I don't like him to bite it because he goes tongue first. He like licks whatever he's biting. You're like, dude.
He hasn't figured out eating yet.
No, hardly. It's kind of. It's kind of got it.
Well, he also doesn't have all of his motor functions yet.
That's true. That's true. That's hard to watch too. Especially
it's like watching an old person eat pistachio ice cream.
Watching an old person on their iPhone or something. You're like, Jesus Christ, it's right there. He was like trying to tie a shoe. I was like, bro, just let me do it.
I like Patrick's bit about lying to kids. You know
I just tell him stuff is spicy that I don't want to share.
That's a good one.
What's his bit about?
He says, he tells a kid that, one kid says, why is one of my testicles larger than the other? And he said, well, that's because one of your legs is shorter than the other on the other side. So God made it so that one leg is shorter on the opposite side to counterbalance so that you don't walk in circles forever.
That is so funny.
It's great. And Patrick does it much better, of course. Go watch Patrick do stand-up.
If you tell a kid that, they'll carry it with them
dude,
forever.
That's locked in until like 6th grade.
Dude, when I was a kid, my uncle embarrassed the shit out of me at a family function. When you're a child, a young boy, you do go through a phase where you have found your penis. And so you're constantly pulling at it, tugging at it, just subconsciously.
Yeah.
So
you don't even know what it's for yet. You're just like
pulling
what
at it.
is, but nobody's talking about it. And you're like, what is
Nobody
it?
had said anything about this compulsive behavior of me tugging at my penis. And this is how it was brought up. My uncle looked over and goes, hey, Keegan, quit pulling on that thing. It ain't going to make it any bigger. Bro, as a kid, I was devastatedly embarrassed.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, boy, my face could not get any redder. Where you're emitting light from your face.
Yeah.
Embarrassment is such a funny fucking, it's a funny emotion. When you're embarrassed, like truly embarrassed, it's
weird getting into comedy because you kind of the bar for being embarrassed gets much higher. Like, when's the last time you felt embarrassed about something?
When I peed on the floor at the new house.
Okay.
I was like, God.
That's pretty recent and rightful, I would say.
I felt like a dog that you just showed a pee spot. I was like, my bad. I'll go get the paper towels.
Actually, here's something. I'm not even embarrassing, but it's a joke idea I thought of. I want to run it by you as
all right,
because we might be able to work it out here a little bit.
Yeah.
So my brother, we donated to the organs and everything. They sent a video from the foundation that like is responsible for matching the organs to the people receiving them, and they sent like a tribute video. And man, I have never cried more to something so cheesy like an infomercial because it's so like you watch it and you're like, if this was a documentary I would not have watched this 5 minutes, and you're just weeping. You're like, this is the cheesiest shit, but man am I sad about it.
Man am I crying,
because the production, it's like when they've got sort of the right kind of music for the emotion they're trying to push out there, but like it's just not right enough that you notice it.
Yeah, I do know.
Yeah, it's stuff like that.
That's funny.
And maybe it's because I know more about like shooting stuff.
Yeah,
and, like,
that's exactly
all
what
of that.
it is. You're seeing past the veil.
Oh man,
you're seeing between the lines. It's too much.
But it's just the concept that I have this thing that I want to break down how like amateur it seems shot, but I also can't watch it.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
Doing research on that's tough.
I don't know. I think that it's just hilarious to be like weeping and also very critical.
Yeah, you're like crying and you're like, God damn, like, this music is terrible.
You're like, I wish that I was crying to something better.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really what I was embarrassed by what I was crying to.
I'm embarrassed at the quality
Yeah.
of the video that's making me cry.
Yeah, like I should be sad about my brother.
Mm-hmm.
This video.
I was one time dating a girl, and she cried to a commercial and was very embarrassed because she was on her period, but she like was weeping and like didn't want to tell me. I was like, what is happening? She's like, that commercial.
What was the
It's
commercial?
like some credit card commercial. And I was like, all right, this bitch is detached from reality.
I mean,
dude.
banks are always the ones that go sad with it.
Yeah, it might have been credit card or bank, but I was just like, dude, this girl, I can't argue with her. She's not a rational state of mind. And that's happening.
No.
That is wild. I had a girl break this down the other day at work. She was talking about like periods, and that like the week of their period is a hormonal disaster, but it's a week before and a week after. And she was breaking this thing down. I was just like, that's crazy that every single month we're dealing with emotional terrorists.
Yes.
Like, that's wild. That's crazy.
Keegan, I feel like this is kind of like like when I was riding the motorcycle and I didn't feel the danger because I was riding the motorcycle. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm not riding this motorcycle. You are.
Oh yeah. I'm locked in it. I'm like, this is my grocery getter from now on. I'm in that motorcycle, dude. I'm locked in. It's on. Yeah. This is all I got.
Yeah.
On a rainy day, I'm still on a motorcycle. A damn tornado's coming.
We're
you
on
boys
a motorcycle.
on a motorcycle. Probably, let's be real, a moped.
That's mean to say about your girl.
Oh, I just meant the relationship. I was thinking trustworthiness. I'm just you're locked in of a relationship. That's what I was thinking. You're locked in. Once you're like, we're gonna have kids, you're like, all right, we're gonna see each other forever.
Forever.
Yeah.
At the very least, every day for the next 18 years.
Yeah, or at the very least, every Christmas and Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And it might get weird. I can't imagine. Just like I was thinking about people that just got pregnant so young. It's just like, dude, there's no way. Like Max, shout out to Max, friend of the podcast, is having a baby boy.
Ah, good for Max.
Yeah. He sent me a sonogram. Was like, yo, check out my son's hog. It's just like a little. I was like, bro.
I still think that's child porn.
I was like, yo, what is the legality of sending me a sonogram?
Yeah.
I don't know if you can get in trouble for that.
Can this be classified? Yeah, I don't know. If not, I think I found a sick loophole for pedophiles.
Oh, dude.
We might want to cut that one too.
Dude, let me tell you this. They don't play at the fucking place, though, because I'll go downstairs, I drop her off at the door and at the OBGYN, and then I'm like, you just go up there, get settled in, I'll get a coffee, park the car. And then when you come back up, like the first time I came back up, she texted me, I'm in room 2. I was like, okay. So I just walked through the waiting room and didn't say anything to anybody. Big fucking problem, dude.
They
came
like
around
that. They get mad about that?
Yeah. They're like some dudes just John Qing in here. It was some panicked women behind the counter. Like,
Man.
Sir, absolutely not.
Man, remember when you could just go anywhere if you walked confidently enough?
Yeah, now it's the opposite. If you're too confident, you're scaring people.
Yeah.
People
You got to
like
be looking at your phone for directions. And
I just show up with a ladder for no reason. They're like, sir, first off, why do you have a ladder knocking shit over?
It's effective.
Christina's like, you got to quit bringing that step ladder.
But it gets us in everywhere.
It's
and here's
even
the
funnier.
thing. Worst case, they don't let me walk through the gate with the ladder. Climb the gate.
Yeah, now I'm in the window. Dude, I've heard crazy stories about people's behavior in hospitals. Like, I know a girl that was taking care of, like, the delivery and, like, new mothers, and a guy smoked a joint in the bathroom. And just, like, dude, she walked in, and the door guy opens the door.
Go to the cancer ward, you know?
Go somewhere, anywhere else.
Bother the people on their way out, not in.
I mean, she's like, dude, what are you thinking? And he's like, are you going to be cool? She's like, no, dude, you're way in trouble.
You got to go to the parking lot.
Yeah, there's parking decks. You got to have a pen or some edibles. But, yeah, people just behave wild in fucking hospitals.
Oh, my God.
To smoke a joint in the bathroom and be like, nah, it's cool. You can't even do that. I mean, I
No.
tried it at work where I had a one-hitter one time and I didn't have anything else on me. I was like, I'll just hit this one-hitter one time and then I'll just roll back in and wash my hands. I ripped it. I come back in. I wash my hands. I'm standing up there. I just am like hanging out, just stoned, kind of looking around. Now I look up. My manager's just
looking at.
Yeah, and I go, what? She goes,
Yeah. Didn't even have to say anything.
Yeah. The back. I was like, fuck. I just said it was my beard. I was like, oh, I smoked before I got here. My beard stinks. She's like, I don't believe that, but I don't really want to fight you on it. So I'm back there just washing my beard with fucking dispenser soap.
Oops.
Drying my face out. Where are we at? We're good on time?
Yeah, we're hour 15.
Let's do it. You got anything to promote?
I was just on Recast podcast with
Oh,
Jason
yeah, so that
Zrimb
came
and
out?
Reed Pegram. Yeah, that's out. We talked about Dr. Strangelove, which was very fun.
Boy, oh boy.
Check out Trends Unnamed podcast. It's getting weird and it's getting different quickly.
Yeah, I like it.
You got anything? Oh, wait. I have more. I got to look at my calendar.
Get the calendar
Is
out.
this week's episode?
Yeah.
Next week on Thursday the 13th, I'm doing a roast battle with my good friend Billy Willig
Billy Willig.
at the Laughing Skull. So check it out.
Nice. When is that? What day is it?
It is the 13th. It's a Thursday.
Thursday? I'll be there. I'll be off, so I'll be there.
Hell yeah.
I got to start thinking of roast, dude.
Yeah, if you can come up with anything to help me.
Uh-huh.
But
Roasting
we'll see.
is...
I've never tried it, but I figure, I might as well give it a shot.
It's an art form because
Yeah.
you want to go harsh, but you don't want to go too harsh.
You don't want to make the audience feel bad.
Right. You can lose the audience quick.
I think Patrick and I would do a really good roast because we...
Know each other so well.
And we couldn't offend each other, I don't think.
Yeah.
To the point that, like, even if the audience is like, ooh, that was a lot, if you laugh it off, they're going to be fine.
Right. I was at a roast one time, and in Savannah, I was there with a girl, and the roaster was like, "Oh, Keegan's here," and started roasting me, and I was just an audience member. I was like, "What the fuck? I don't get to get up and say anything about him.
Yeah,
like, this
that's
is bullshit." Yeah, I was like, "What the fuck, dude?"
You should have just gone up and taken the mic.
Yeah, snatch the mic. You're like, "Yeah, he's cheating on his girlfriend." Boom. Now you're single.
Burn it to the ground.
All right, man. Well, thank y'all for viewing. Just make sure to send this to somebody. Hey, y'all, please, if you're listening, go ahead and hit the like button. Throw a comment. Thanks, Steve. We saw your comment last week. It does help us if you just throw a comment up there. So thank y'all so much. Later.